Welcome to the Kyber Crystal Lounge. Today we're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 3. If you haven't seen the episode, I highly suggest you go do it and then come back and listen to this because I will be spoiling it. This is your spoiler warning. I'm going to do a quick recap of the episode and then I'll give you my thoughts. The episode starts with Obi-Wan in meditation trying to communicate with his former master, Qui-Gon Jinn. He's still trying to process the fact that his former Padawan is still alive, and that Darth Vader is hunting him down. Obi-Wan and Leia arrive on the planet, and they walk to the coordinates where they told somebody will meet them, and nobody is there. Leia flags down a giant mole creature named Freck. Obi-Wan and Leia get in his little truck and they drive off. Along the way, a group of stormtroopers joins them, and there is a moment where Obi-Wan slips up and calls Leia by her name in front of the stormtroopers, and it raises red flags with the stormtroopers because they were introduced as different people. This seems to go away, but then it's quickly revealed that Freck, the big mole man, has taken them to an Imperial checkpoint, and that's where things get interesting. Freck is not a nice mole man, and he has turned them over to the Empire, and he's telling the stormtroopers you need to take a closer look. A fight happens when an Imperial probe droid shows up, and Kenobi's trying to hide Leia. The probe scans him, and Kenobi shoots it, and then starts shooting the stormtroopers. And just when everything's all in the clear and the fight is won, more stormtroopers show up. This time they're taken out by a woman that is dressed as an Imperial. She is an Imperial, but she assassinates the stormtroopers and helps Kenobi and Leia, and she takes them to a little safe house. In the safe house, there's carvings on the walls, and Kenobi's reading a few of them, and one of them is from another Jedi, Quinlan Vos. Quinlan Vos has been in the Clone Wars and had a brief cameo in The Phantom Menace, and is kind of a fan favorite. Kenobi and Leia are about to make their escape when Darth Vader himself shows up with the Inquisitors. The Inquisitors have identified him and relayed his location to Darth Vader, who shows up on the planet. Obi-Wan tells the Imperial lady to take Leia and get her to Alderaan, while he distracts Vader and the Inquisitors and leads them away. And at this point, Vader is just messing up the town. He's killing random people, he's destroying things, he's just being a big bad Lord of the Sith. Kenobi leads Vader out to the quarry where this mining operation is going on. And during all of this, Vader and Kenobi have a lightsaber fight. It's not really a great lightsaber fight. Kenobi is very much out of shape and out of practice, and Vader pretty much one-hands the entire fight and beats Obi-Wan down. At the end of the fight, Kenobi is picked up by the Force, and Vader holds him off the ground. Vader knocks over a giant container full of whatever mineral they are mining, ignites it with his lightsaber, and absolutely roasts Obi-Wan Kenobi over the flames, as he did all those years ago. Before Kenobi is killed, the Imperial that took Leia comes back, and she ignites this stuff after it's been extinguished, putting a barrier between Vader and the stormtroopers to Kenobi, and they get him out of there. All this time, Leia is still making her way to the escape ship so she can get back to Alderaan, where she's cut off by the third sister. That's where the episode ends. It ends on a cliffhanger with Leia running away from the third sister, Obi-Wan has been beaten and burned, and it doesn't look good for the heroes, to be honest. But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I was a little worried on how Vader coming into the episodes and being in the series would affect the canon and the timeline, but I think the way they did it worked really well in this episode. There was only a few lines of dialogue passed back and forth between Kenobi and Vader. Kenobi asking, "What have you turned into?" And Vader responds with, "What you made me." And then while Obi-Wan and Vader are fighting, Vader is taunting him for being weak and out of practice. And then when he's roasting Obi-Wan over the fire, he's telling him that, this is where his suffering begins. And it's just a dark, bad beatdown that Obi-Wan receives. This entire episode really set forward in motion the story of Obi-Wan and Vader. We get to build upon where we last saw them in Revenge of the Sith. Kenobi is still struggling with everything that Anakin has done, and Vader has just completely turned to the dark side. After watching these episodes, you would think there would be no redemption for his character. He's killing the innocent, he's torturing people, he has no remorse, and he is just cold and ruthless, much like you see in Rogue One. During the lightsaber fight, Vader, as I said before, just kind of one-hands everything, and you can tell that he really is not holding much back against Kenobi. He is just wanting to destroy him and torment him and toy with him. And it's not a great lightsaber fight. It does not hold up compared to like the Qui-Gon Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, or the Anakin and Obi-Wan fight from Revenge of the Sith. But it is a emotional beatdown that we just all got to experience, and I'm really looking forward to where the show is going to go from here. What did you think of the episode? Let me know in the comment section below. I will have more Kenobi coming out next week, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. Thank you for stopping by the Kyber Crystal Lounge. May the Force be with you.